Hey guys, welcome back. Another D-Brigade Studios production. We got Basil in the house because I needed his help because I can't figure out how to play this deck. There's too many directions to go, and I need someone to tell me how to do it. What do you got for us today?
We've got D-Brigade. A lot of people were really excited for D-Brigade, I think specifically with the D-Police stuff.
Yeah.
With Satsuki and with the Numemon.
Yep.
And then you go 5 and 6 with Cargo Dramon and Brigade Dramon. And I think that is a viable way to play the deck.
Sure.
But I think it strays away from the core that is...
what it's done since BT4.
With the core of the deck, which is D-Brigade.
Yes.
And so this will be different from a lot of lists that you have seen. This deck is a much more aggressive version and a much more true rookie rush strategy.
Yeah, I kind of think if with this deck, not that you want to split it into D-Brigade and D-Police, but that is kind of how it is, right?
Yeah.
You kind of want to stick either to that rookie rush aggro style that you've been playing since BT4, which is obviously in brand new Commander Mon and high Commander Mon, or you want to digivolve into stacks.
Yeah,
like you,
I
you
think-
kind of don't think you can get away with doing both.
I think originally my excitement for this deck was, oh, we have a Mind Link Tamer that gives our D-Brigades jamming.
Yep.
But the problem is it only counts D-Police.
Yes.
It doesn't count all D-Brigades. So a lot of our
Yes.
Commandramons don't work with some of the new
Absolutely.
D-Police effect. So anyway, we're going to jump into the deck, starting with the Digitama. We've got the best draw egg in black. It's Pagumon.
So good.
Especially because we don't really care if our D-Brigade units are dying.
No.
Because we're going to attack with them. There are very few instances where we're just going to leave them on the board. And so the Pagumon is almost always going to hit. Nearly the entire deck is black Digimon.
Yeah.
Although there is a few cards that will miss on this. But Pagumon is the way to go. And our fifth egg is Missimon, the EX3 Missimon.
Okay. So not even the newest one.
Yeah, we're opting away from the BT14 egg just because we don't really care if our D-Brigade is dying on the swing.
Yep.
So plus 2K is not too relevant.
I agree.
As well as recycling D-Brigades from our trash is only going to hurt us in this version of the list.
Sure.
And the reboot comes up in a few instances. And we'll get into those.
Yeah, you brought up a great
bit
point because
later.
a lot of the Digipolice almost takes the cards out of the trash when you're so used. I'm so used to the BT4 Dark Dramon that wants them in there.
Spoiler alert. We'll get to that in a sec. So we'll jump into the rookies and don't hold your breath because there are a few of them. The first is the BT4 Commandramon.
That will never not be a 4 of, I think, in any list.
Yeah, this would be, I always joke like, oh, we would probably play 8 of this if we could.
Yeah.
I think we would probably play like 16.
I think you'd
of
play
this
16
card
of this if we could.
On deletion, flip 3 and play a Commandramon.
Sure.
Worth noting that it does not specify play cost or level.
Yep.
Which will be important for our cards later on. Our next Commandramon is the SR, the BT14 Commandramon.
I get 100% agree with this too.
Yeah, this card is very, very good. The first is that it searches 5 and grabs a D-Brigade, not necessarily a D-Police.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would
that's
be hard.
really important for this deck. The second is we can rearrange the top and the top 4 cards of our deck. That is really important. That's going to help us ensure hitting on our Pagumon, ensure hitting on our Commandramon, ensure hitting on our Pride Memory Boost, which
That's
we
what I
are
like.
playing,
Yeah.
as well as the new High Commandramon. The Alterns inheritable skill comes up a little bit less because we're not digivolving as much as we are in other lists, but we are running level 4s in this deck, and it does come up in some instances. Something I've said before a lot, and I'll say it again, any time that vanilla cards are viable, I think that is proof of a very good format.
Yeah.
And so we are playing some vanilla Commandramons.
Yeah.
First is the Starter Deck 5 Commandramon.
Love that one.
And second is the BT3 Commandramon.
Love that one too.
So these are very good because they're called Commandramon. This Commandramon is the first one to go in a lot of people's lists just because it's so expensive. The reason that it's good is it's a 4 play cost, which is playable by Pride Boost, as well as it is called Commandramon, so it's playable by this one. as well as it's the best one to put on top of this Missimon.
Sure.
Because this Commandromon's going to live a lot of its swings over rookies and some level 4s.
Absolutely.
So this Commandromon is a beast.
Yeah, and he puts a lot of pressure on the opponent's board. A lot of times when you're playing against D-Brigade, they'll just be like, okay, yes, just let them swing. Let's get it out of the way. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Then they have to attack that one if
this
it lives.
This one's going to land a lot of attacks. And then this one is good because it's 2 to play.
Oh,
so
that's amazing.
a lot of your turns.
I miss 2-drop vanillas, guys. I miss them.
You're going to be left with, you're left with 2. A lot of the times you're going to just end up playing 2 Commandromons to pass your turn.
Easy.
It's a lot of pressure on your opponent. The other thing that's nice about this Commandromon specifically is a lot of the 2-drop level 3s are usually 1 to Evo in the raising. But this does not. It's 0 to Evo as well as 2 to play. So it's very nice in this list. Our next set of rookies is the EX3 Commandromon. This is the decoy. The interesting thing about this Commandromon is it is the same as this effect, but this counts for any leaving the battle area. That's bouncing, bottom decking, chaos degradation effects as well. But it is still nice because on a lot of the times we're going to want our level 4 to pass over to our next turn so that we can use its effect again. And it's called Commandromon, so it makes its way into the deck.
That's 20 so far? 20 Commandromons.
And we'll make it 24 with the blocker Commandromon.
I love it. Love it.
This is another one that's one of the first ones to go.
That's how I feel. That's the first one I kind of start taking out.
Just because it doesn't really... There are very, again, few instances where we are going to block. We're a very offensive list. We don't want to sacrifice one of our Digimon to
just so happens to have
gain a security. But there are some instances where it comes up. There's a lot of 1K rookies in the game these days. So it's going to save a chip damage there.
Sure.
As well as... It's a Digimon called Commandromon. So we play it at 4.
Giving flashbacks from my wife. When we started playing with Japanese cards, one of the first decks I built was Commandromon, and she's hated it ever since.
Well, keep her away from this video.
Yes, yes.
So that's it for the rookies for now. We'll come back to them in a little bit.
Now, guys, if you are watching this and you notice a little bit of a pattern on the deck profile video, and you're building a stack version, you definitely aren't going to run this many. But this is the way I think the D-Brigade is best for sure.
Yeah, I like it this way a lot too. We'll move into the High Commandromon.
I love that card.
When attacking, it has the same effect as the Commandromon, although it does not say play any Commandromon. So it's not going to be able to play this one or this one.
Sure.
Because it specifies play cost of 3 or less.
Sure.
Besides that, it's going to play everything else. And
still
then,
16 targets.
Correct.
That's still...
And it's going to then rearrange them only to the bottom. So this one can put it to the top. This one cannot. And we're never going to be activating its inheritable because we run no level 5s in the deck.
There's your answer.
Then we've got one last level 4, and that is 2 copies of the EX3
I was going to ask you.
Seals.
I'm torn on this one myself.
Yeah, the jamming seals. The reason that this card is good is because it has jamming, which is very nice. Again, sort of the same strategy behind this Commandromon, where if you can stick an attack out of security, it's something they have to deal with. So the jamming seals is nice. And you put it on top of this Commandromon, on top of this Missimon, jamming reboot on a level 4, and it has protection, is pretty hard for your opponent to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely.
The bad thing about this card is it's a 5 play cost, so we're missing its ability on the Pride Memory boost, as well as the High Commandromon. It also does not have the ruling of this card is also treated as a Commandromon, so it's going to miss on this effect as well. That being said, I think it is a worthy inclusion at 2.
Yeah.
Just because of the instances that it's good is it's really good.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to skip the level 5 and jump
you don't need them.
Straight into the level 6. And that is the BT4 Darkdramon.
It's such a good card. It's always been a good card for this deck.
This card is sort of your hybrid for game.
Yeah.
It is a 13 play cost. But you can cycle back 5 D-Brigades to the top of your deck to gain 2 for each.
Sure.
So if they have a memory floodgate, that does stop this.
Yes.
But it has on-play rush. So it's going to be sort of your last check if you have at least 3 memory. And I think that's the best way to not only save you from decking out in some of those more grindy matchups, but also to just get that last check in. Now, we are playing a few more Digimon. I think it's worth noting that in this deck, it's important to have a comeback mechanic.
Yeah.
Because obviously you don't fight for the board at all. You basically just want to attack their security until you win.
Yep.
So one of the best comeback cards in the game is Death Exmon. Death X at 2 is great. If they are promoting a bunch of stuff to kill your Commandramons that are suspended, you can answer back with Death X and then sort of control the board from there. It's a very good card this format, and it's your way to kind of get back into the game. We'll move on to some options now. The first is Pride Memory Boost at 4.
I love that.
They might as well call this Commandramon Memory Boost.
Seriously, I mean, the new Altar, we've seen it. Is
it's
Commandramon,
true, out of the new advanced deck.
It's D-Brigade Pride.
Yeah, it flips 3 and plays any of your Commandramons, including the High Commandramon, because it's play cost of 4. And the good thing, it's even better because we have the new Commandramon. So you can rearrange the top of your deck to ensure that you hit with this card.
Yeah.
It makes it just that much better.
And I even like the fact that it puts the cards in trash too. Mm-hmm. You know, it helps with the Darkdramon for sure when you need it.
We've got another set of 3 options, and that is DG Dimension.
Wow.
DG Dimension is sort of your backup to Death X.
Sure.
Another sort of comeback mechanic. Again, we don't fight for the board at all in this deck. So their board state can get pretty overwhelming.
Yep.
And DG Dimension is one of the best answers to an overwhelming board state. And so I really like it at 3. If you wanted to switch the Death X for the DG Dimension, that's sort of where you would do it.
Yeah.
Go up on the DG, go up on the Death X, whatever the case may be. Or if you just wanted to go for a full play set of the Darkdramons, I think that would be fine too. Now, our last 2, we have 2 more play sets of cards. And they are not black, and they are not D-Brigades.
Interesting.
It is Ukomon, and it is Louis.
Oh, why am I not surprised at this point?
When we first saw these cards, D-Brigade was the first thing I thought of.
Really?
I was like, this is completely perfect for the deck.
Okay.
It's Rookie Rush. It's promoting rookies. It gains a bunch of memory, and it's just perfect for the deck. You want to accelerate your hatching phases as much as possible. You can spit out more rookies. Pagumon skill works with the Ukomon because it doesn't have to be black.
Sure.
Louis Ukomon is the best D-Brigade support that we got in this set, and it's not even D-Brigade. And that's the list. I think it's a very aggressive list. It doesn't really fight that well back from behind.
Sure.
But it is super aggressive. On turn 2 or turn 3, your opponent could be faced with 5 Commandramons.
Absolutely.
If they don't have an answer, you're just going to run them down.
Guys, I think it's important that when you are looking at Commandramons, if you got to first decide, do you want to go the full aggro route, which is, I think you and I both agree, it's right way to go.
It's my favorite way to play.
Do you want to go Digipolice and Digivolve into stacks? I do personally agree that the Commandramons are made to just kind of swarm them. So I really like what you've done here. But let us know in the comments if you've had success with Digipolice. But we're very excited to share this list with you.